Welcome, and please come to a comfortable seat this evening. As you sit tall and close your eyes, we welcome ourselves into the practice with a deep breath, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then you can begin to breathe in and out through the nostrils, deepening your breath. And as you're deepening your breath, you're feeling the breath come into your body. Feel your breath move deep into your belly as you inhale. And as you exhale, allow the breath to soften. We have a few more just coming into practice right now. So with your eyes closed and your breath moving into your body, welcome yourself to your practice. And now begin to feel your breath transition from the inhale to the exhale. This smooth transition begins to calm the mind. Take a couple of more breaths like this, full and deep. And now you can let go of those deep breaths and allow the breath to take a natural rhythm. Invite the breath to be effortless as it comes in and out. It might take a few rounds for it to settle into a comfortable, natural rhythm. And I'd like for you to check in with yourself physically. Notice how you are feeling. Bring your awareness now to your mind. Notice if you are distracted or foggy, or if you are clear and present. Just observe where you are right now. Bring your awareness now to your emotions or your feelings. How are you feeling in this moment? And if you have been holding burdens in your heart, acknowledge those burdens that have been weighing heavily on your mind. Hold them with gentleness and kindness. As you now let go of all of these thoughts and feelings, we take this seat, present, and you might consider repeating these words to yourself or pondering them. I am present. I seek nothing. I am present. I seek nothing. As you breathe into your heart center now, you can feel yourself starting to deepen and expand your breath. When you inhale, feel the breath coming into the entire body, moving down into the fingers and toes. And as you exhale, feel that breath expand throughout your whole body. Your inhales bring in life, vitality, light, and your exhales allow you to disperse this energy, feeling into your whole body. As you breathe with this awareness and attention, you feel the edges of your physical body begin to soften. You feel the vibration of your body begin to open, vibrate higher, awaken to the experience. Now take your hands to your heart center and allow your intention to be held here at the heart. Maybe it is to be filled with light, to be present. Maybe there's something else that you are holding dear. And then when you're ready, release your hands, slowly open your eyes. I'd like for you to stretch out your legs before we bend them again. So as you stretch your legs out, if you have any tightness in the back of your legs, you can rub your knees. Go ahead and take a moment just to point and flex your feet. Maybe bounce the back of your legs on the floor. And then we're going to move into tabletop on hands and knees. So as you can see, I have my blocks to the front of my mat. And if you'd like to kneel on a blanket for cushion or anything like that, you can do so. But as you're coming into tabletop, we're going to start to just move our body, circling the shoulders, the knees, and the hips. And begin to allow the breath to move with your body. This is going to continue to awaken your physical body. And each time you inhale today, you might notice that you are bringing in light and energy. Now go the other way as you circle the other direction. Warming up the joints. If you've been sitting for most of your day or whatever you've been doing, we're going to really open up our whole body. As you come back to tabletop, shoulders over your wrist, I'd like for you now to move your rib cage. You're going to circle the torso, moving it around like you're rolling the belly in a tunnel. Your arms are going to stay straight as you begin to manipulate more of your waist. Dropping the belly and then lifting it up. Now go the other direction. Keeping your hands pressing down evenly into the earth. You might connect your breath with this movement. And as we transition now to cat-cow, you're inhaling with your heart pulling forward, looking up, Exhaling, rounding the spine, tucking the tailbone. And that breath gently moves in as you open the body. Couple more times, just moving in cat-cow, really feeling your mobility today, noticing where you might feel stuck, where you feel tight. And exhale into child's pose. We're going to stay in child's pose for a few breaths. If you would like to rest your forehead on a block, you can. If that's better for you, you can also take a blanket behind your knees. But I'm just going to rest my forehead down for this moment with the arms forward. As you breathe here in child's pose, bring your awareness now into your feet. Imagine your feet breathing. Your visualization and awareness in your feet starts to bring a deeper connection to the cells in your body. We're going to take this awareness and travel it up into our legs. You can try to send the breath into this part of your body. Remembering that when you inhale, it goes into your body, and as you exhale, it spreads. That energy and light and vitality is spreading to your legs. Take your awareness now into your glutes and your pelvic floor. Breathe here. Continue to soften as you exhale. Now breathing into your torso, your belly, your lower back. Breathe into your chest and your upper back. Having the intention that you are awakening your energetic body, that your cells are coming to life even more. They're resilient and healthy. And as you breathe into your shoulders and your arms, your hands, you begin to be more aware, awake. And even now, as you breathe into your face, your eyes, your jaw, the tension that you might have been holding in your day, you relax as you exhale. Let the weight of your forehead as it touches a prop or the floor really sink into the earth. Let the earth support you. And now as you breathe into your whole body, send your breath into your fingers and your toes. Moving with our breath now, we inhale coming into tabletop and continue to open the heart, moving forward back into child's pose, just for one exhale. Inhale, kneeling. As we lift our arms up, I want you to stretch your belly, keep breathing in, and then exhale, lowering yourself back to child's pose. We're going to flow with our breath as we inhale into cow. Belly down, heart forward. In exhale, down dog. So we're going to add on and start to open up the back of our legs. Inhale again to cow. Heart forward, belly down. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, kneeling. This is our pattern, our sequence as we move back to child's pose. Inhale forward, heart opens, downward facing dog. Now we're going to repeat this one more time. Connecting with our breath, we inhale, looking forward. Child's pose as you uncurl your toes. We reach for the light and we inhale and we expand and we soften, linking our breath to each movement as we now stay in this downward facing dog with bent knees. By pressing your hands down and forward into the mat, lift those inner shoulders up. And I'd like for you to just stretch one leg back as you open up the back of your knee. And now pedal the foot and stretch the other heel back. Now slowly move from side to side. And you can really feel into your legs. Your heel will probably not go to the floor. That's not our goal. We're just opening up the back of our legs here. And as you now look forward, walk your feet to your hands. The blocks are there if you want to use them, and come halfway up. So we'll lengthen the spine, and then we're going to fold over our legs and stay in Uttanasana for a few breaths. In this standing forward fold, we ground down into the center of our heels. Go ahead and lift your toes and spread them so you can feel your feet active. Then slowly lower the toes back down. Come halfway up again, really opening the chest, looking forward, and fold even deeper over your legs. You can bend your knees if you have pulling in the back of your knees. Really let your head go. Feel the crown of your head extending towards the earth. Then as you bring your hands to your hips, with a neutral spine, stand up and allow yourself to come into mountain pose, Tadasana. Your breath even moves into the whole body here as you come to stand. And you start to feel yourself radiating light. As we do a couple of sun salutations, we're going to continue to help stoke that inner light within. Inhaling, the arms really reach overhead. Keep the palms together as you fold over your legs. Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, look forward, and then step back to plank, top of a push-up. Take one breath here, and then slowly lowering down through chaturanga, or you're welcome to use your knees. As you roll your shoulders back, coming into cobra. Elbows towards the body, heart lifts, neck is long. Downward facing dog, as you curl your toes under, press into your hands, and lift your hips up. Now your legs are a little straighter. And you stay here for a couple of breaths, just to really breathe into the whole body. If your shoulders are more over your wrist, it's very helpful to bring your shoulders back. You're going for an extension of the spine. Now, as you look forward, walk or jump the feet to your hands. Come halfway up again as you lengthen the spine and fold over your legs. Standing all the way up, reach arms out and overhead, and the hands rest in heart center. That was one Surya Namaskar. Two more. Inhale. Each time you do this, your body wakes up and warms up even more. Inhale, lengthen the spine, step back to plank. You'll also begin to lead with the opposite foot. As you exhale, elbows stay in close, lower down. Inhale into your cobra, the heart opens. Exhale, downward facing dog. Press into your hands, lift your hips up. We all meet here together as we breathe deeply. And again, if you're having tight hamstrings or low back, you bend your knees so that you get your tailbone really high. At the end of your exhale, if you're someone who's jumping, you bend your knees, look forward and hop your feet forward. Inhale, coming halfway up and folding over your legs. Stand all the way up, reaching arms overhead and hands to heart center. One more, trying to lead with the opposite foot. That's good brain health as you fold. It's also nice to balance right and left side as you inhale. Step back to plank. Shoulders over wrist, lower down. Inhale, up dog or a bigger cobra, downward facing dog. Press into your whole hand. Try not to lift that inner wrist. Couple of more breaths here. And again, at the end of your exhale, you're either hopping or you're stepping your feet all the way up to the front to inhale and lengthen the spine and fold over your legs. Standing all the way up, we reach our arms overhead and hands meet at heart center. Now, as your hands rest by the side of your body, in Tadasana, feel the shift within you. Now notice how you feel physically, mentally. As we start to move into some standing flows, please face the long edge of your mat. And if you want to move the blocks to either side, you can. So we're going to keep them to the front. But with your left foot, that will be the side we use first, you can take a block for triangle pose, kind of behind mid-shin. So let's step our feet wide and pivot our left foot open 90 degrees. First, coming into extended angle pose. As you bend your left thigh, bring your forearm to your thigh, or your hand can go to the floor or block. Then you sweep your arm overhead. This first round that we do the poses linked together, we're going to hold each one a little longer. That way you can really feel and begin to refine the posture. Pressing down into your feet evenly, roll your right shoulder back. The next posture we're going to take is Trichinosa, triangle pose. So as you straighten your left leg, this right arm reaches up and your hand will either find the block or the shin or the floor. Now you're going to try to have your shoulders stacked one over the other. Take your ribs into your body so that you're really connecting to your core. And if you'd like to turn your head and look up, you can. It's a wonderful pose to really feel that radiating light. As you breathe in and bring energy into your body, exhale that energy into all of your arms and legs throughout your whole body. Moving into Warrior Two, we bend that front knee again and we lift up our torso, looking out over our left hand. Let's start with our palms up. And when you turn your palms up, that helps to externally rotate the shoulders. It gives you a lift up through the chest. And then when you turn your palms down, you stay lifted up through the whole body. From here, we come into reverse warrior. Take your right hand down and really bring this left arm up by the ear. So we're stretching the side body with the front knee staying bent. And as we exhale, we're going to straighten both legs, pivot our left foot forward. And if you're using a block, you're going to move it to your right side. So I'm going to turn now my right foot open, my left foot slightly in. First pose, extended angle pose. Uttanasana. So with our forearm pressing down, roll that left shoulder back and take that arm overhead. Draw the shoulder back and roll it open, pressing down into your feet evenly. You can pull back on your right hip so that that glute is engaged and the knee is directly over the ankle. When we come into triangle pose, stay grounded and connected to your left foot. Press down because it's already connected to the right. With both feet pressing into the earth, you can really open up and roll the chest open. Again, maybe now on this side, your hand might find the floor. Each side is different. And you could turn your head and look up to your hand. Breathing deeply. The next pose is Warrior Two as we bend the front knee. You don't necessarily need to roll the palms open each time. Once your body has that sensation, you can really just lift it up, have this inner light, and from the center of the chest, reach out through your hands. One more breath here. And then when you're ready, come into reverse warrior. And we're gonna lift this arm up, stretching the right side of your body. If your legs are getting tired at all, you can straighten your right leg. If you're really working on some strength right now, keep the knee bent, go a little deeper. And then straighten both legs and pivot forward. Now we're going to do that flow from the front of our mat. And we're going to move through a Vinyasa, it's called. So starting in Tadasana. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, palms down as you fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine, step back to plank. So we're gonna move here through this sun salutation to get to our standing postures as we lower down. This warms up the body even more. And we're gonna come into downward facing dog. Now we started with our left leg first, so we're gonna do that left leg. You're gonna lift it up for a three-legged dog, stretch through that leg, and then bending the knees, step the foot forward. Spin your right heel to the floor, come into extended angle pose. This is our first standing posture, we're linking. Triangle pose, Trichinosa. Use a block or the floor. Pressing down into both feet, roll the shoulders onto your back. Warrior Two. Connecting to both feet evenly. Softening the gaze of your eyes. Reverse warrior. Each pose is held for 2 to 3 breaths. You're welcome to skip the Vinyasa and just step forward, go to the other side, or travel with me as we step to plank and lower down. Up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Now for those of us who went through the Vinyasa, our right leg is lifted high and we step that right leg all the way forward. Help it up as you need to. Pivot your back heel down, and the first standing posture is extended angle pose. Now that we're coming through this a second time, our body starts to have memory, and we can really use the breath and the energy as we come into each standing posture. It's not so much about the correct alignment, but how do you feel from the inside out? And you are generating heat as we move into each of these standing postures. Warrior Two. Your mind can begin to settle. Reverse warrior. And that is the gift of flowing from one pose to the next. Staying deeply connected to the mind. As you exhale, coming back down, and we're going to move through that Vinyasa again. So step back to plank, I'll demonstrate up dog. So as you lower through chaturanga, keep your thighs off the floor, step over the toes, your hips and thighs are up, shoulders back, downward facing dog, rolling or stepping over your toes. Coming into the left side again, lift your left leg up. This time we're going to step it forward, and instead of coming into extended ankle pose, take your right knee down. Asana, top of the foot down, and then we lift our arms overhead. In this low lunge, we're really drawing that front heel and back knee towards each other. You're going to feel a tone to your pelvic floor, and from here really lift up and keep stretching. Shine your light. Transitioning into a twist, your right elbow comes to the outside of your left thigh. And as you stack your hands and your elbows, you really rotate and roll your left shoulder back. Another breath or two. Exhaling the hands to the floor. Here's where you may use your blocks again. So I'll demonstrate with blocks for Uttanasana. Pick up your back knee. And you might want to step your right foot slightly forward so the heel can go down. Now in pyramid pose, we inhale and lengthen the spine. And we're really tapping into our legs. We're opening up the left hamstring and calf as we fold over the leg. And you can do that breath work a couple more times. Inhale and really extend through the crown of your head. Arms will straighten. Exhaling, bending your elbows and folding over the leg. Again. Those knees can bend if that adds a little softness or stability in your own body. And then once you've come into your deepest fold, you might come into a lower level of your block, or maybe you've been able to allow the release of the block so your hands move to the floor. Couple more breaths here. Now, just like we were able to skip the Vinyasa when we switch to the other side, you can do the same. You can just step forward and then switch to a low lunge, or you might move with me. We're going to look forward, plant our hands, step back to plank. So your left foot meets your right. In plank, take a breath in. Exhale, lower down, either pelvis to floor or come to your up dog. Pelvis and thighs off the floor. Downward facing dog. When we go to the other side now, your right leg can reach up high. That little bit of momentum and help can really bring that knee forward, stepping your right foot all the way up before you take your knee down. Come on to the top of your left foot and move into Asana on this side. So here we are really feeling into the front of our hip. Letting the pelvis descend and then even more start to open the chest. Come into the back bend. One more breath here. And we take our left elbow to the outside of the right leg or thigh. Stacking your hands, use your arms to help you twist. As you unwind this, once again, you might find those blocks, and we come into Uttanasana by stepping your left foot in slightly. It's okay if the heel doesn't come to the floor, but as you inhale, you're really trying to press into both legs and then fold over your right leg. That right hip pulls back, And you do that a couple more times, going for expansion and openness through the spine. And then opening up the back of your legs, deepening into this stretch. And the tension of the shoulders and your face really starts to melt and let go as you hold this in your deepest fold, wherever that is for your body today. One more breath. And instead of going through a vinyasa, we're all going to step forward, coming into Uttanasana with our forward fold. Balancing out the back of our legs. And then even going deeper in Malasana or squat. So for me and my body, I like to step my feet a little wider before I begin to really lower my hips. Now, if you get to a point and you can't keep going down with your heels down, you're welcome to put your hands on blocks and pop your heels up. Maybe that will give you the freedom to keep lowering your hips towards the floor. Maybe you are still able to bring your heels down without falling over. So it just really depends on your own body and the props that you're using. If you can bring your arms inside your knees, then maybe you can even bring your hands together, right? And so really this stretch is to open up the hips, the ankles. It does require some core strength. And then we're going to catch ourselves now behind us and hug our knees into our chest as we balance in a ball. So see if you can wrap your arms now around your shins and go as tight as you can with your feet off the ground. And now we'll just let our feet rest. And we're going to take a deep breath in and out and just settle. As you now move more towards the middle of your mat, we're going to do a pose that looks very similar to Navasana, but I watched the teacher, I loved this visualization, and she called it jellyfish. It had more freedom and movement, and it made you feel less rigid. So as you transitioned, if you'd like to watch at first, from something that's hovering like a ball, then you can kind of go into Ardha Navasana, or like this jellyfish hanging out, and then you pull right back up again. We're going to do this 5 times. This is a lot for heat and core strength. So see what you can do. You inhale to open, and then you exhale and you really pull in. And the idea is to see how much space can you take up? How low can you go? You might be a little stronger than me and go even lower to the floor. So you can hover an inch or more without having to use your hands and come back up again. So just try a few more. See what you can do. It really integrates all of your core strength. Breathe. And then once you've done your 5th one, you plant your feet and you allow yourself to rest. So I'd like for you now to come all the way down onto the floor. Let your back come down. Let your feet plant and just rest. We're going to do something that's known as windshield wipers with wide feet. So you're going to take your feet as wide as your yoga mat, and your arms come into these cactus arms. Elbows are bent 90 degrees with your palms facing up. If you have any kind of shoulder issue, your hands can't touch the floor, open your elbows so that they can rest. And now your knees are going to go to the left first, both of them at the same time. Come up with your inhale and exhale both knees over to your right. Keep going a couple of more times. Now, this variation of windshield wipers helps us to really open up our quads and the hip flexors that we engaged in all of those forward bends. This time when your knees go over to your left, you'll stay here. You're welcome to take your left foot and stack it on your outside of your right leg. The weight of your left foot really opens up the hip and thigh even more. And you can turn your head and your belly to the right, deepening the twist and just stretching through that side body. Release the foot to the ground and then bring both knees up. Slowly go the other way. You are on the edges of your feet, and you might like to take your right foot to the outside of your left thigh. Again, turn the belly, the chest, the head away from the knees, over to your left. I love this stretch, especially towards the end of a day when my hips have been bent for a long period of time if I'm sitting. Release that right foot, bring it back to center, and hug now just the right knee into the chest. Take your left leg and straighten it towards the ground. Do your best to really press the thigh, the back of the leg to the earth. And give your right leg a good squeeze. As your hands interlace behind your right leg, stretch your right leg towards the ceiling, pushing the thigh into your hands. Now your leg may or may not be vertical, it doesn't matter. Just stretch into the entire back of your right leg. As you spread your toes, relax your shoulders and your face. Now bend your right knee again. And this time our twist comes with one leg across the body. Take your left hand to your right knee. Gently draw your knee across your body, rolling to your outer left hip while your right shoulder stays down. And once again, you might turn your chest and head, look opposite of the leg. Continue to bring that awareness into the breath. Breathing in light and vitality and letting that permeate, soften into your whole body with each exhale. Next inhale, the knee comes up and you just rest both legs straight. We're almost to Shavasana. So let's give ourselves time now to pay attention to our left leg. Draw that left knee in nice and deep. If you have a lot of pain holding on the top of the thigh, you can go ahead and hold under the leg, under the knee. Either option is nice for your own body, giving it a good squeeze to open up the glute and the low back on your left side. Now, as you clasp your hands with the opposite thumb on top, push your left leg into your hands and now begin to straighten your left leg. That right leg is trying very hard to stay anchored down into the earth. Deep breath in and out as you relax your shoulders and your face. As you keep pressing your thigh into your hands, you're staying very active here. There's a curve to your lower back. And we move into that twist by bending your left knee. The right hand comes to the knee, left arm opens. Please draw the knee across your body. As you roll to the outer right hip, you're just listening breath by breath to your body's ability to twist. Some of you can go really deep. Others might just be a few inches across the midline. Next inhale, that knee comes back to center. This time, both feet find the earth with your knees bent. And go ahead and bring the soles of your feet together for Supta Badaknasana. We're going to give our inner thighs a chance to stretch. And what I'd like to recommend is take your hands into the upper thighs where that crease is. So your thumbs go towards your groins, your fingers reach towards the thigh, and you press away. You're giving your pelvis and rib cage a little traction here. Opening up a little bit using your arms. And then once you are ready to settle just for a few minutes, you can relax that pressure and bring your palms to your belly or by the side of your body. Please close your eyes. Feel the breath now move into the belly and pelvis. We've been able to work with our energy throughout this practice. And this practice reminds us that we can tap into this energy, this vitality, this deep intelligence and wisdom of our own body. Many times people will sit for meditation after an asana practice because of their heightened awareness and connection deep within themselves. So as you now begin to straighten your legs and transition into Shavasana, you can support yourself with props, with blankets, and give yourself time now to completely release and rest. In this final resting pose, you open yourself to receive. If you are working with an intention or sankalpa, you can plant the seed in your heart center. You can repeat it silently to yourself and trust in the deep knowing within. Give yourself permission now to completely let go. Let go of all effort in your physical body, in your breath, and in your mind. You are deeply connected to your breath, and your breath connects you to this deep inner wisdom, this healing light. As you continue to relax, remind yourself, I am present. I seek nothing. You are resting in this state of being and becoming. You are held in this sacred space. You're welcome to continue to stay in this supine position. Otherwise, we're going to begin to deepen our breath. And as you deepen your breath, we awaken into our physical body by stretching the arms overhead. By stretching the arms overhead, you're pressing your feet out away from you, Go ahead and squeeze your fist and flex your feet. And then hug your knees into your chest, coming into the support for your lower back. You're going to roll the knees together in a very gentle circle, massaging the muscles in your lower back. Being so kind and nice to your body as we come out of this. Taking our knees now the other direction. And as you roll over to your side, we're going to pause, cradling our head in our arm. And just being on our side gives us the chance to transition to a seated position now as you use your arms to help yourself come all the way up. And once we come together, seated, we can close our eyes once again. Our palms come together. Rub them briskly, creating warmth and energy, heat, and gently cup your eyes. Feeling yourself grounding even deeper into your body. And rub your palms together. This second time, we're going to place our hands over our belly. Breathing here. And the third and last time, as you bring your hands together, rubbing them briskly, I invite you to place your hands over your heart center. With kindness and compassion, love, we take this energy, these virtues, and we carry them with us into our week, into the days ahead. Namaste.